Alrighty guys, as you keep using the Dragon Ball Legends ToP guide video, this one is actually coming out after part 1 has came out, right? So part 2 is going to be coming out either tonight or tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon, well, around there, right? We're very close to getting that 12 TP, but usually the guide video comes out before the part 1 walkthrough. As you can see right here, we've already done the part 1. I just wanted to make sure you guys had enough time to go ahead and burn through that TP before you guys get closer and closer to that cap. So just getting straight into it, last season we ended up at rank 2,729, really high score, right? So top 3K, that's not really what we aim for. We just want to get the bare minimum so we can get that 1,000 CC. As always, huge shout out to the Discord. There will be 2 Discords linked in the description down below. Without them, these videos would not be as good as they are, right? So one is to doomgeta's personally owned Discord, which is the Celestials, and the other one is the unofficial Dragon Ball Legends Discord. And remember, there will always be timestamps in the description down below, that way you guys can go ahead and get to where you need to go. So the first thing we are going to be talking about is going to be the pathing. So part 1, we've already done part 1, and it was very easy. There's only 2 difficult fights. The only fight that was very annoying here was the Boo-Tanks fight. 100% that fight sucked, just because you have Boo-Tanks on there. He's going to super attack you. If whether you're a blast team or a strike team, Boo-Tanks is in cover range potential of a strike cover and a blast cover, right? So it's, unless you have a super attack built up with a high key restore speed with one of your green units, that's obviously the way to go. That's not something that I planned ahead of time, and so that was slightly annoying for me. And then part 2, you also only have 2 difficult fights, but one of those difficult fights is going to be the tag fight, and we'll go over that a little bit later. But it looks like it's going to be a little bit rough. So those difficult fights, yeah, just be careful of those. But again, this is color coded for you guys, so you guys know exactly where to bring out your high tier units, right? So your S tiers, your Z tiers. In the gray pathing, it doesn't really matter, but once you hit the orange, the purple, the red especially, you want your full effect of boost. And then alongside that, we do have the color wheel right here, right? So threatening reds, there's only 3 of them, yellows 2, purples 3, 1 green, right? And then 2 blues. So you can bring on a bunch of blues, especially because, you know, it's not a heavy green season. I would say you could honestly bring on a bunch of pretty much anything that you want. There's not one color that specifically stands out as, holy crap, do not bring too much of this. You know what I mean? And then secondary to that, we do have the prediction wheel. So strike cover changes, there's 10, dude. 10 strike covers, bro. 10 of them. That's actually insane. And then for blast covers, there's 2 cover changes and then 1 arch nullification, which isn't that bad. Blast teams are definitely going to have it way easier this season than the strike teams. So now let's go ahead and talk about some of these fights. I guess I have a better in-depth for it now, especially since we already completed part 1, but this is the first fight you are going up against right here. It's universe reps with double stunners. So pretty much the main things you want to worry about here, or the ones that I'm going to highlight, is going to be this Frost right here. He stuns on turn 2, and so there's this Champa. Get those 2 out of the way, and this should be a breeze. Same thing for this fight, double stunners. This is like a telekinesis kind of fight. I don't know. That's what, I guess it kind of makes sense, right? But you have so Roshi stuns on turn 2, Frost stuns on turn 2. Get those 2 out of the way, you're good. Urine does debuff. It's going to be in the cross shape, so it's going to be the 3, this column right here, and then this row right here. Kind of hard to avoid that. It only leaves 4 open spots, so some of your units are just going to have to eat that unless you have units that can just cancel those debuffs. Also, Chaozu will suicide at 15% or lower HP. Next, you have this fight, so no really huge noteworthy units here. Whis does stun on turn 2, you just kill him first, and then this Vegeta, he does have 1 blast arts mitigation. So typically what I'll do is I'll just go for him last. This is your first hard fight of the season, and it's going to be against the Brolys, right? So you have double stuns here, unfortunately. So this Broly, he has a stun on turn 2. This Broly has a stun on turn 2. I would probably say the red Broly is easier to take out. He's not as tanky as the Ultra Broly. Plus, you don't want him to transform, right? So if you're going to leave one of them alive, it'd probably be best to leave the purple Broly alive. So in my attack order, I actually went for the red Broly first, then the purple Broly, and then this guy has a strike cover, this guy has a strike cover, and then this blue Broly is targeted last. And then you have this fight. I mean, listen, this one's pretty easy. Don't bring a yellow unit to this probably. But this guy has death debuffs for your team, so typically you go for him last. And then next you have the Ginyu Force team. So this is without the revival, so it's pretty obvious who's going to be your high priority, right? It's going to be these two right here, the tag units. And I do want to touch on this one a little bit too, because during my run we actually didn't get the kill, which sucks. I think strike teams are going to struggle with this a little bit more because this yellow 18 actually reduces the amount of strike damage they receive. So this 18 also has a strike / blast cover for someone. Yahweh has a strike cover for someone. Urin's debuffing, Ribrianne's debuffing. Play this smart. I'm not saying like save super attacks for it. It's not like incredibly difficult, but it can be pretty tanky, right? That's why I said I had to use a rush on this one. Then you have your first boss fight, dude. This sucks. So Buu tanks, most of these guys are going to be highlighted units, right? Buu tanks, he's super attacking you first. That's typically the first unit you're going to go for. And then this guy has a stunt on turn 3, so you have a little bit of time to get him before he gets that out. And then this Buuhan, he has strike cover. He has a strike cover for the Buu tanks. And then he has the chance to double attack, which he did on me, unfortunately. This Kid Buu has a strike cover. Kid Buu is like 5th slot unit, and then this guy's 6th slot unit. He's not really too much of a threat, but he does have a blast cover. Guess who he has a blast cover for? Buu tanks. The next fight, this is in part 2 now. You do have this Legends Originals or Game Originals, whatever you want to call it. The only unit that I really want to highlight here is this Bardock and Goku unit. They're pretty tanky. They're getting like damage cut if you super attack them, and if you do super attack them, they'll swing it right back and hit you with the super attack. So please play that safe, play that carefully. Ultra Rose, when we went for him, we weren't able to one-shot with the Ultra Rose ultimate arts. Thankfully, that ultimate arts is able to just stun him, so he didn't get it off and we were able to kill him. But if it didn't stun him, we would have got super attacked by him. Please be careful about that. Next, you do have this Tapion fight right here. So honestly, what I think you're going to do here is you're going to go for the red Tapion and then the yellow Tapion just because of their debuffs. The red Tapion specifically, he heavily debuffs on turn 2. He uses his green card, and alongside those debuffs, he's taking away one of your unit's special move gauge charge. So if you have like 98% and he targets you with that green card, boom, it's 0. You're gone. This purple Tapion also has debuffs on hit. Some people like to go for him last, but he also has a blast cover for someone typically, right? And it's not health gated. So a lot of times you're going to proc that regardless. I don't think he's going to be up here with these two as a high priority, but definitely like a mid priority or a last taken out unit. In the ideal world, you take him out last, right? Sometimes that's not possible. This blue Zamasu also debuffs you, and that will be highlighted right here. And then he also debuffs you upon getting hit, so he's the 6th slot unit. Next, you have Vegeta Clan. This one's pretty easy. Like we've been exposed to it a lot, right? So your top 3 units here are definitely going to be Sweater Trunks. He has a cover rescue for someone usually. This Vegeta, or this Sword of Hope Trunks has a strike cover for someone usually. And then the tag unit, right? Tag units are pretty annoying. Thankfully, this tag unit, he doesn't have any cover change, no strike, no blast, so it's kind of easy to get through him. Another unit that you might want to slip in there beforehand, though, is this Mai, right? This Mai does have a stun on turn 2, or it's like at the end of turn 2, right? It's her little flashbang. Yeah, so it's like end of turn 2, so going into turn 3. You do have this GT fight, which can be a little bit annoying. There's just a lot of debuffs, a lot of support going on right here. Your big 3, I guess, here would be, I mean, I don't even know if I'd call him big 3, but Parasite Trunks, definitely at the top of the list. He's going to have the best damage on the team. This Kid Goku's going to stun you on turn 1. You can't do anything about that unless you have someone that can just cancel that abnormal condition. This Oob, he's debuffing you, and he's keeping some extra debuffs once he gets like below 60%. And this Vegeta's debuffing you. This Vegeta is supporting his team, and then this guy just kind of sucks. He's whatever. And so this is like your 3rd hard fight right here. This one's awful for strike teams, right? Because Magenta has a strike cover, Ader has a strike cover, Cell has a strike cover, and then 16 has a strike cover. 17, he's gonna like use and abuse your yellows, right? If he attacks a yellow unit, he has 50% chance to follow up on that. He's also eating a blast arts. This guy's the only one that shouldn't be highlighted on the screen for you right here. This guy is like a non-factor. He's not really doing too much, but Magenta has death buffs, Ader has death buffs. This guy's getting damage inflicted upon getting like below 70% HP, and then Cell's just debuffing you hella, bro. This one's going to be rough, dude. And this is going to be your final fight right here. So everyone should probably be highlighted right here. Tag units are super duper annoying. This guy is probably the only one here that doesn't have a cover change. This guy has the Transcendent Kamehameha on turn 4. We have to get him out before that happens. Thankfully, the Gamma of 1 and 2, they don't have like a Transcendent Kamehameha type thing where they have like, well, you know how Gamma 2, he has the super ultimate attack or whatever, and we don't have to worry about that in ToP specifically. But I'm probably going to run through this and go through all the super attacks, see where they are, because I'm pretty sure everyone except for the tag Vegeta Trunks has one. And then next we're going to go ahead and go through the top teams for the season. A lot of teams did get cut. I'm just letting you guys know right now. But if you guys need any help to basically indicate what icons are what, like you're curious about what does this icon mean, what does the red icon mean, what does the blue icon mean, what does all these icons, there's just icons on the screen and I don't know what the hell any of them mean. That's why this image is right here for you. This is going to essentially tell you what all the icons mean and why they're there. All right, so this is the team we are running right here. So GT Blast, right? So left hand side, right hand side, there's going to be two different teams right here. Core unit still remains the same with Super Baby 2, but boost unit, that's where I get a lot more greedy, right? So technically we pretty much are only recommending the 40% to boost, right? And I think some teams are actually skating by with the 30%. But so the 2 Z tiers is already going to give you that 40%, right? So this guy's a Z tier and this guy's a Z tier, and that should have been enough. But I get even more greedy and I put on 3 extra S tiers on top of that. Like this guy's an S tier, this guy's an S tier, and then the Vegeta is an S tier as well. Whereas the crafted team only has 1 extra S tier, which is going to be the Rage Shenron. And I already know one of the main questions you guys are going to ask is who's going to be my replacement for this guy right here. A lot of you guys might not have this unit. Hopefully it's not a boost option replacement because there's no green unit that's going to replace him as a boost unit, right? But if you just need a green unit to replace him in general, you're going to be looking for the Super Saiyan 4 full power Zenkai Goku that's on GT. You can also do the Tag 4s. You can also do the LF Omega Shenron that's green. All those units are green. Those would all probably be better units than this guy right here, right? He's on here for the boost. And your main damage dealers on this team is 100% the Parasite Trunks and the Super 17. Super 17, this dude is just... you want him again. If there's a yellow on the enemy team, you're going to want him on there, right? He's getting extra special move gauge off of hitting a yellow. He's getting a chance to do double attack off of yellow, 50% by the way, and he's also eating a blast arts attack. Rage Shenron has the Taunthan mechanic where after there's 5 enemies or less remaining, which is probably going to be turn 2, then he's going to go ahead and start, all the enemies are going to focus on him for that turn. So you got to be really careful against playing against a bunch of reds. Unless you can take all those reds out on turn 1, all those reds are going to attack him on turn 2. And I would say the only like solid replacements for the Super 17 is going to be this free-to-play Shenron, Sin Shenron right here, and this free-to-play Kid Goku. They both have debuffs. They're both pretty solid. There's no other unit on here that screams like, oh, I'm going to be the next best thing. Like, I know this guy's a Zenkai blast-based type, but he's so old and outdated, I really just don't have enough info on him. Plus, his kit kind of just seems super duper bare bones, dude. Like, not even no damage cut in here. Like, it looks rough. So now let's talk about the strike-based GT team. So Super Baby 2 still your core unit, boost unit, Super Baby 2 EX Red, and then you have the Z tier Sin Shenron. So double boost, 40% right there. You're good to go. Remember, all EX units going forward are going to be recommended at the pink star recommendation or just straight up at the red star recommendation, as you see for that EX Red baby, because he needs all the stars he can get. He's super squishy. He only gets his damage cut when faced up against another Saiyan. As for the main team, you have some solid damage here. You have the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you have the Super Saiyan 4 Tag, you have the Red Omega Shenron, who also has a stun on him. Blue Spirit Bomb Goku has a stun on him, and Pan is just a recent... Pan's going to have good damage too. And since we're on the topic of GT and Super Baby 2, we might as well just go straight into regeneration. So Super Baby 2, of course, still main unit here, core unit, unreplaceable. Or is it irreplaceable? One of those words. Boost units, I am not going to lie, I do not like that Super Boo at all. If I'm here with you guys, I'm taking off that Super Boo and I'm putting in that purple cell, dude. Like, I've used him once. I have him at Friendship Rank 10. I guarantee you guys that I have him at Friendship Rank 10, and I still do not like him. I don't like using that unit at all. Like, I don't know. I just think he's bad. But that's my personal opinion. Maybe you guys use him and you're like, dude, this guy's goated. He's a goated boost unit. I don't like him. And then S tier, you have the Omega Shenron. For the main team, you have double super attacks here, Boo Tanks, the Piccolo, you have the Zamasu, Corrupted Zamasu, who's getting a super attack almost every fight, right? Because he's getting 20% on hit. Demon King Piccolo debuffs, and then the Purple Cell debuffs as well. Next, we do have the hybrids. This is going to be the blast-based hybrids team right here. So core unit is Pan HPZ ability, and then for your boost units, you have the Z tier Green Trunks, the Z tier Gohan. You actually have some decent options for replacement, like the EX Future Gun. For those of you guys that don't have that Green Trunks, right? Everyone should have that purple Gohan, though, to be honest with you. You have the Fat Gotenks for support. You have the Grunks tag unit. You have the Ultra Green Gohan, who's mitigating one strike, turning that mitigation into a full-on 100% to the super gauge. Red Gotenks, and then the Ultra Beast Gohan. Really strong setup. And then you have the strike-based version of that, which is Pan is still going to be your core unit HPZ ability buffer. And then for your Z tiers, you have that Blue Gohan. Again, you have some decent options for replacements. You have a free-to-play option right there. That free-to-play Trunks can fit right in there instead of that Gohan. Even that purple Trunks. That purple Trunks is really good. Doom glazes him so much that it's insane. So you can put any of those two on. And then you have the Super Trunks as your S tier as well, who's also giving, I believe he's giving a Zenkai buff to the Zenkai Trunks that's on the main team. I would have to double check that though. Again, Fat Tanks for the support. You have the Krillhan on there, tag unit. You have double Beast setup right here with the blue and the yellow. And then, of course, that Green Trunks pairs extremely well with the Blue Beast because they both have buffs against powerful opponent. They're both farming super attack very quickly. It's very nice all around. And with that, we're going to go into the Taunthan setup. So your core unit is going to be Taunthan himself, aka the second coming Gohan. He is going to be get him as many stars as you can. He's recommended at the pink star, but you got to be careful because obviously he has the taunt mechanic, meaning that on turn 1, right off rip, all the enemies are going to focus on him, right? For your boost units here, you have the Z tier Blue Gohan and then the S tier Grunks, right? The EX one. If you need a replacement for the Z tier Gohan, your best bet is probably going to be the EX Purple Gohan, which does work 100%. Sunfam doesn't really have a whole lot of boosts this season, so they only have the one Z tier replacement and then just a handful of S tier replacements. As for the main team, you have Triple Beast Gohan right here, so blue, yellow, and red, all amazing units. You have the Goten supports and heals as well, and then it's minuscule heals, so don't rely on that too much. But it's nice to have a heal for the Taunthan. And then arguably your best unit on this team is going to be God Goku, who's getting a turn 1 blue card, and he also has debuffs. And with that, we can go into our Saiyan setup right here. So this is the strike-based setup. We do have no core units here, so you don't need to worry about having someone that's completely irreplaceable. But for your boost units, you do have the Z tier base Broly and the S tier Tora, and you actually have a good chunk of units that can be replaced for the boost units, right? Like there's several Z tier replacements, and there's a good chunk of S tier replacements as well, including some Zenkai units too, so that's pretty solid. For the main team, you have support from the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. You had the Emulate Goku, also has the evade mechanic. You have the watered down version of Beast Gohan, which is the Daima 4Q. That guy's actually really good, right? He's really solid, and he's deserved to be like, just to call him like a watered down version of Beast Gohan, you don't realize how good that Blue Beast Gohan is. That Blue Beast Gohan's runnable at like a 5-star level, so he's pretty solid. You have the God Goku here as well. He has the Ki Restore Speed debuffs. He has like damage inflicted debuffs for the enemy team, and then or damage received debuffs, I believe it is. And then he has the turn 1 super attack. You have the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken with the turn 2 super attack. And then you have the Ultra Goku up there as well, who's a new addition, or relatively new addition. And then we have the Blast-based Saiyans. So no core unit here either, but you do have a couple more boost units. So you have the Z-tier Saiyan in red, free-to-play unit, by the way, easily accessible. And then you have 2 S-tiers. So you have the S-tier Vegeta. Or, well, they're both Vegeta, right? So the yellow Zenkai Vegeta, who's a debuffer, and then the purple Vegeta, who's just an absolute tank. He's really tanky, he heals a lot, he's very solid. As for the main team, you have double tag units, one of them being the Buu duo. They get the Transcendent come on turn 4, so definitely clean up crew right there for them. Then you have 2 revival units. You have Nappa and you have Pycon, both of which you can run them at pretty much whatever stars. I ran that Pycon at low stars and it was begging for him to get revived, and I still couldn't do it. But the Pycon has debuffs, he's really good. Nappa's really good, and then Kaba is like an actually really good support. He's not only is he just supporting the team, but he's supporting key recovery specifically, so you're going to notice your units be abnormally fast, which is good. But now let's move on to universe reps, where Kaba is still remaining right here, right? He's right there in the center. He's having those heals, he's having the support, key recovery speed increase for his allies in range. For your core unit, you just have that green golden Frieza. That dude is so freaking good, dude. He's so nice. And then for your boost units, you have the Z tier Rosie and then the S tier Kale, On the main team, you have MVP 17 support. You have double stuns right here with green Topo and then the purple Jiren, and then you also have a turn 1 super with the yellow golden Frieza. Remember to always put him on the golden tile. That way you can increase, or you're not increasing, you're straight up upgrading your special move into the ultimate arts, and then upon landing that ultimate arts, you are getting extra debuffs inflicted onto the enemy team, which is huge. Yeah, I don't really see this team dying, just because yes, Frieza is a core unit, but he has a full team heal too. So you're getting heals from Kaba, you're getting heals from the green golden Frieza. Like it should be, and you're stunning 2 units right off rip. Like you shouldn't be taking too much damage with this team, to be honest. But next we have Universe Rep Strike Based. So even though a lot of you guys are pooping on Frost in PvP right now, a lot of you guys don't like him, which is understandable. He's not the best unit, but he's the Kaba equivalent for the strike team. So Kaba got booted off this team so that Frost can go ahead, and it's weird. So he's almost functioning the same way. He's buffing key restore speed, he's healing as well, and so that's why he's here. For your boost units, you have 3 S tiers. So you have the S tier Topo, S tier Bergamo, and S tier Champa right there. For the main team, you actually do have a new edition of the Kefla, right? The new Legends Limited one, which we'll talk about later, because I don't think we went over those units, to be honest with you. And then we have the Zenkai 18, we have the tag unit, double tag units right here, right? So tag unit Go Frieza, and then tag unit Kale and Caulifla. Next, we do have the Frieza Force setup right here. So you have 2 core units, which is going to be the Revza and the Golden Frieza. For your boost units, you have 3 S tiers. So the Broly, who's acting as a debuffer, a pool supporting, and then the that's Ramon, right? It's Ramon. He has like crit buffs and stuff like that. So 3 S tiers there. For the main team, you do have the purple Frieza stunning on turn 1, red Frieza stunning on turn 1, and then golden Frieza, golden tile. Keep them on the golden tile, upgrade that special move into the ultimate, and inflict extra debuffs onto the enemy team. That's the name of the game for this team. Next, we do have the Majin Buu Saga. I still want to get around to running this team. It actually is like super doable for me now because I have the Buu Duo, so maybe we will visit this team. Core unit is going to be completely free-to-play character. He's an HPZ ability buffer. It's a no-brainer. Their Z-tier boost always kind of remains the same, right? It's always that Deborah and the Gotenks combo right there. And then for the main team, you have Buhan on there, who has a chance to double attack. You have the ultimate Gohan, like just good damage overall, right? You have the free-to-play 18, who's acting as a healer. If you do have the Hercule Buu assist unit, that is the better yellow for this team. Free-to-play 18 is just easily accessible, right? And then you have the Tien, also really solid. And then, of course, the Buu Duo, they get that Transcendent Kamehameha on turn 4. Next, we do have Girls. So Girls, just a heavy boost team. That's pretty much all I can. There's no core unit here. It's kind of hard to just be like, yeah, you need to run this unit. You need to run this unit. You have like a Z tier boost. You have 1 Z tier and then 4 S tiers. If you're running this team, you have to play this like very strategically. This team will go down easily. I guarantee you that it will go down easily. You only have 1 healer here, which is going to be the Kale down there. A lot of these units are getting like special move gauge like gained, right? Like Kale Caulifla, they're getting special move gauge. Super Saiyan 2 Kefla is getting special move gauge plus debuffing. A lot of these units do work well together, right? And the blue Bulma is like canceling all enemy buff effects on turn 2, which is pretty nice. Plus there's support there. There's a lot of support just sprinkled around here. Just know what they're doing, dude. That's pretty much the best advice I can give you for this team. But next, we do have Powerful Opponent. This setup rarely ever changes. So core unit is going to be that yellow Broly HPZ ability buffer for Powerful Opponent, and then double Z tiers with that blue Goku Black and the Super Baby 2. So Super Baby 2 again, only getting that damage cut if faced up against a Saiyan. So don't, like, there's a lot of blue units, none of them are Saiyan. Be careful, all right? For the main team, you have Garlic Jr., who's offering some support in 4 tiles, so above him, left, right, and below him, which is pretty good because he allows those spots to not get stunned specifically. He also has double attack once he transforms. You have the blue Goku Black for support. And then the rest are just beat sticks, dude. Like, you have the corrupted Zamasu. He hits hard. He's getting 20% per hit. You have the Cell, who's getting a good chunk off of just facing off against a Hybrid Saiyan or a Saiyan. He hits hard as well. And then Rose is getting that turn 1 super attack, turn it into the ultimate, and then it gives it the ability to stun as well, just in case you don't finish him off with it. Next, we do have the droids. So you do not have a core unit here, but the closest thing you're going to have to a core unit is going to be dude, we might as well just give him the core unit title at this point. Like, he hasn't left this team in ages. I feel like every time we come up to this team, it's the same damn spiel every time about him. He's a HPZ ability buffer and he's healing. I'm probably just going to throw it. Next time you see this, you're probably just going to see him with the core unit icon. I don't think a lot of you guys would be mad at that. For boost units, you have the Z tier Android 15, is that 15, I believe, and then the S tier Cell, second form Cell, and then S tier 18, who's debuffing, right? As for the main team, you have MVP 17 support. You have the Ultra Cell, just support for everyone essentially, because he's giving 5% to everyone's special move gauge, which is good. He's like Cell, or I mean, he is Cell. He's like corrupted Zamasu, but better, right? I used to just pair them at the, if Zamasu's 14 stars and this guy's like 5 stars, you could probably argue Zamasu's better in that situation, but equal stars Cell's blowing him out of the water. And then speaking of like blowing up, you have the Suicide Cell on there too. He's debuffing, he hits hard. And then you also have the Green 21, who has a cover rescue if you need it. Hopefully you don't. And then she also has the stun on turn 2 as well. All right, so next we got Sagas from the movies. This is the blast-based version. So core unit, Roshi, HPZ ability. For S tier, you have your Blue Broly debuffer, and then you have Amon. And then you have Z tier, Lakase and Regen. I believe that's their name. I hope that's their name. But the Doom likes to call them the Ballsack twins because their heads look, well, you know, you could see it. But yeah, them being Z tier is pretty crazy, especially because they're not that old, right? They're not like incredible. They came out with Turles, with the Ultra Turles. So pretty good pickups right there. Along Almond too, so that's pretty good. On the main team, you have the Red Frieza stuns turn 1, Purple Goku good damage, Gamma 1 and 2 good damage tag unit, and then Pycon's debuffing as well, and just him being a revival unit is huge. And last but not least, we do have the strike-based version, right? So core unit Pan, HPZ ability buffer, and then for your boost units, double Z tier with the purple Tapion, which is a huge pickup, by the way. That dude's actually really solid. And then Z tier Blue Gohan. Again, if you don't have that Blue Gohan, there is options for you to replace him with, including that Lakase and Regen, right? You can throw him on there. You can. Same thing with, like, there's some other good units on there, like that Bojack is actually decent support, right? And then you also have, I mean, I don't know how against running double purples you are for your boost units, but that Z tier Trunks is really solid as well. As for the main team, you have Blue Beast Gohan, who's going to be doing a crap load of damage. You have Fat Tank support. You have the tag unit Goku Vegeta. You have the Red Cooler. And then you have the Godku. Godku is debuffing, using debuffing key restore speed for the enemy team, and he's also getting that turn 1 super attack, turned it into ultimate arts. Like, he's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the top teams for this season. Teams that did get omitted from this is LOE, bad boost, Dragon Ball Saga, bad boost, Androids, Strike, bad boost, and then event exclusive isn't necessarily getting omitted. I mean, I'll still make the teams if you guys want me to, and kind of just throw them up there for you guys to just see what gets replaced for the boost units. But the Discord actually has delegated event exclusive to having its own personal guide. So if you guys want to check that out, again, check the link in the description down below. If you guys want me to keep using the event exclusive team, I'll just start putting like just a rough screenshot up there of like what got changed for because the main team doesn't really change for the event exclusive, if I'm being real honest. It's just you're swapping out some of the boost units. All right, so let's talk about some of these new units. We'll start off with the Frost, since he's already getting featured on some teams. That's how decent he is, or not even decent. He's good. He's good. He sucks in PvP, but yeah, he's good in this. So key restore speed's pretty solid, 2,468. That's at Friendship Rank 1. Has a blue card and the ultimate. So yeah, 60% damage inflicted, 15 cut, plus 15% to key recovery, and start of the first turn per enemy tag Saiyan, 10% damage inflicted, 10% to key recovery, and 5% to special move gauge. Already off rep, that's a really solid ability. End of turn, he's healing himself by 1% 2 times, and he's canceling attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. again, pretty solid. And he also has a strike cover that's health gated by 50%. Usually it's around 30%, so that's a W. We'll take that. Start of the third turn, allies, he restores health by 2%, 20% to damage inflicted, and 25% so that's why I say he's kind of similar to Kaba, where he fills that role too. Like, look at his range too, it's pretty massive. And then if we don't care if that's only whatever, that's whatever to us until we fight him. We don't care about that. And he just has a decent Z ability overall as well. Next, we do have this free-to-play cooler that just dropped. Not really making waves, I don't think, right? But his key restore speed, though, 2,577. That's pretty solid. Just the blue card to him, 70% to damage inflicted, 10% cut, 20% to key recover. That's actually pretty solid so far, what I'm looking at. End of second turn, Lineage of Evil or event exclusive or Sagas from the movies, 10% to damage inflicted and 5%. Oh no, that's incredible. That's anything regarding special move gauge, I'm gonna glaze. 15% to damage inflicted, start of turn 3, 20% to special move damage, and 30% to special move gauge. Yeah, I'm glazing hard right now. On strike or blast arts hit, enemy, you inflict attribute downgrade minus 10% to health restoration, minus 10% to key recovery. On special move hit, inflict attribute downgrade plus 20% to damage inflicted, heavy bleed, and cancels upgrades. Before receiving a strike, blast, or special move arts attack, multi-target, restore own health by 2%, activates 2 times, and inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade minus 10% to damage inflicted for 1 turn. I think he's good, dude. I think this is like one of the better like event exclusive kits we've seen in a while. And then of course we do have this Kefla. So I haven't even actually read this, and she has been featured on a team, so it's good for me to read this as well. So max 2,240 for key restore speed is incredibly low. Has a blue card and the ultimate, so I better see some key recovery buffs in here, honestly. So 90% to damage inflicted, 20% to cut, 20% to key. There it is, right there. 20% to special move gauge charge rate. Would have been just better to special move gauge, period. Start of the third turn, 20% to damage inflicted, 20% to special. There it is, right there. And then you upgrade your special move arts on its own on the start of the third turn. Cancels attribute upgrades and abnormal conditions on special move or ultimate arts activation. 20% to own damage inflicted and cancel enemy attribute upgrades. 50% strike cover change range, or so strike cover, health gated by 50%, again, pretty solid. On strike or blast arts attack, 5% to own special move gauge, debuffs, plus 10% to damage received to the enemy, and then end of turn, restore health by 1%, 10% to damage, 10% to key recovery. Yeah, dude, she's pretty good. I would say she looks pretty good. All right, so and lastly, let's go and take a look at this guy's Zenkai kit right here. So I don't have him Zenkai yet. So we can kind of see what he's working with pre-Zenkai and then post-Zenkai. Alright, so within his Zenkai kit, this is maximum stats. He's getting 60% to damage inflicted, minus 15% to damage received, 20% to key recovery, 40% to special move gauge. And instead of the first turn, he activates his green card, 20% to own blast damage, 30% to own special move gauge charge rate, and inflicts enemy with can attack for 1 turn, and 30% to blast damage received. So I do have the regular kit right here as well. Decent amount of stuff that got added, right? Especially including the special move gauge stuff, and then higher percentages as well. And then second ability, start of the battle, if there is an enemy that is both Saiyan and Sagas from the movies, you get straight up 20% to special move damage inflicted, 20% to ultimate damage, 20% to key recovery, and 20% to special move gauge charge rate. And you now get a 25% chance to double attack, bro. That's insane. That's so strong. And on special move arts hit, you heal by 3%, and you upgrade it. Oh, so you just automatically upgrade it. Yeah, it's pretty solid. For reference, this is what it looked like post or pre-Zenkai. So it was just, yeah, you get 20% to special move damage and 20% to ultimate damage. I would say they gave him a good amount of glaze on the ToP kit. And that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this season's guide video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Again, I'm super duper sorry for the lateness of this video. It just, teams got out late, and then I started like my work week, and it just, things just didn't add up for me. It was just a rough week overall for the channel. Hopefully that won't be the case once the new season rolls around. Ideally, my goal is to get the video out no later than Saturdays, right? The guide video at least. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in probably part 2, which should be coming out in the next like day or so. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Later.